This episode of WhysAdvice is sponsored by Health IQ, an insurance company that helps health-conscious people like runners, cyclists, weightlifters, and vegetarians get lower rates on their life insurance. Go to healthiq.com/dag to support the show and see if you qualify.
Fat Dag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, Fat Dag.
I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. That's right, I believe in you because I know you can do this. Welcome to episode 164 of WhysAdvice. I want to give you an update on something we have been working on. You clearly know what it is, but it's time for a major update. OperationFatDag is real. And what I mean by that is I asked you guys a little while ago for a little bit of help. I wanted to bring in some experts to help me form this foundation properly. Of course, I do some nonprofit work, and I wanted to make sure that Operation FatDag got off on the right foot. So we formed a board. We've gotten the bylaws have been written, and we have a meeting scheduled for March here in Indianapolis. Many of the board members are flying in on their own expense. Just crazy what the Connect community will do. And so we're going to fly into Indianapolis. We're going to read through the bylaws, which we've already done. We're going to sign them. We're going to then at that point submit our IRS Form 1023. And then from there, the IRS will approve us as a 501c3. We've already gotten kind of sort of the rubber stamp saying what we want to do is possible and there shouldn't be any roadblocks. So we've kind of essentially gotten a guarantee that we will be an approved 501c3 in the year 2018, which is just absolutely incredible. So I'll keep you updated as time goes on. Currently, you can find the website at OperationFatDag.org. It co-resides on my website, so we're going to break that off. That's just one of the rules we have to comply with. We'll break that off into its own separate entity. But I just want to take a moment to update you. That is happening. We're changing lives. We are going to impact members of the military and their retention, and no longer does someone in the military face what I had to face and have to figure it out on their own. We're going to build communities, and the communities are going to involve your support as we rally around and we just continue to help people who are serving in the military find their why, find their way, use the hows that we've given them, and completely change their life. It's the path I took. It's the path that can completely change my life, and I could not have done it without you guys. So I just wanted to make sure that we continue to give back because I didn't know where I was going to turn. And I say I got lucky in a lot of ways by finding the community that I found. So I want nothing more than to show other people that it's possible and then continue to help members of the military as they look for their own way. So thank you for all that you've done to help get that off the ground. I tell you, as we read through the bylaws, had an hour-long meeting today with the mentoring group, and man, it was just really interesting for me because not that it isn't, but it just felt so real. I felt like as we're going this, I could feel the energy, I could feel the change, I could see lives changing, and we haven't even started. Man, it's going to be amazing. So I hope you stick around to see that as you continue to work your own journey. The reason I share all that with you, because it's very important. One of the things these folks need is as we welcome them to the Operation FatDag channel, as we welcome them to the team, one of the things they need more than anything, the number one thing they need is you. And not only you, they need the best you. They need you at goal so that they can look and go, okay, this is possible. This is doable. So what I need you to do between now and the next 6 to 8 months, I need you to buckle down. I need you to focus. I need you to get disciplined. I need you to get to goal. I need you to stay at goal. Because when I bring members of these members in, and when our board gets together and we start approving applications and we start taking care of these members, they need the belief that it's possible. They need support. You can provide that. So that's your mission. That's your task for the next 6 to 8 months. I want you to buckle down. I want you to get it done so that when we bring it open, we go 100% all in and getting it done. So that's the update on Operation FatDag. More to come for sure. OperationFatDag.org is the website. That's where you can find more information. And to the board members out there who are listening, those of you who are coming out to Indianapolis in March to sit down and roll up our sleeves and get it done, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really, really appreciate that. Linda writes in out of Tampa, Florida. She says, Mike, thank you for your service to our country and to Weight Watchers. I have finally made it through all of the podcasts, and I love them all. Today, I just scrolled through and randomly picked one to listen to. It was the one where you read my granddaughter Paige's email. How appropriate. Then I listened to the one on December 9th where you shared my email about lowering my A1C and reaching my 5%. They were both amazing to listen to again. Well, today, I'm celebrating several things. I reached my 10% goal on my 16th meeting for a weight loss of 27.6 pounds. It was hard work, but I am worth it. I'm going to continue till I get my 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. I know it will take time and energy, but I will get it done one day at a time. Thank you for all your support and for sharing all the wonderful emails from fellow Weight Watcher members that have worked the program. Linda, thank you for tuning in. Congratulations on hitting your 10%. I told you if you hit 5%, you can hit 10%. You believed me. You persevered. You kept going, and you proved me right. You proved yourself right. You proved that if you wanted to get it done, you can get it done. Now that you've reached 10%, there is nothing stopping you from going all the way. 27.6 pounds. That's an amazing accomplishment. You know, I think a lot of times when we start looking at some of these amazingly successful people on this journey, you know, every single person I know who's lost 100 pounds or more at some point was down 27.6. You know, and so we forget sometimes when we see all these big numbers, we think, oh, my 27, yeah, no, be proud of your 27 because every person I know that's gone past that had to at one point get to 27. You've gotten there. You've gotten there with your 10%. Now you can do whatever you want to do. Your 16th meeting, that means you're plugged into the attendance model. You're just showing up every week, getting it done. It is hard work. You are worth it. And I know it will take time and energy. You will get it done. And you're doing it the right way. One day at a time. It's even a little more basic than that. It's one meal at a time. Hour by hour, you do this. If you have a bad hour, the next hour doesn't have to continue. You can refocus every single hour on this journey. So whether it be one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, the more you focus on your goals, the better chance you have for that success. Now, it clearly was not, coincidence that as you scrolled through, you just happened to land on the episode that your daughter or granddaughter was in. I think a lot of times that is by design. And I thank you for going back and re-listening. And for all you folks out there, of course, we do the show every single day, except for the days we don't. But the days we don't are good days for you to play FatDag Roulette, where you just hop in the app and you scroll through, you find something, you hit play. Because I think a lot of times when you listen to the episodes, it happens to me too. I listen to many, many podcasts as I drive and as I go about my day. And I'll find myself oftentimes in the middle of a podcast going, wait, what did he say? And I'll rewind about 2 or 3 minutes and I'll hear things I didn't even hear 3 minutes ago. So same thing on a day when your focus is waning and all of a sudden you need some little more inspiration, and it may be a day that I just happen to not have an episode out there. There's 164 episodes now. You can find something to keep that focus. And what I found is that every single day you need to start your day off with focus. You need to end your day with focus. You need to stay tuned and stay mindful to what the goal is. Linda, it's an amazing journey you're on. Congratulations on your 5%. Congratulations on your 10%. Congratulations on your 27.6. Congratulations on getting to goal. Yeah, that's right. Congratulations on mentally being at goal. You're plugged in. You're going to get it done. I can see it in your email. Thank you so much. Katie writes in, says, "Hi, Fat Dag. I recently discovered your podcast and truly enjoy listening daily. I've been feeling the urge to write into you as many others do. I'm struggling, and I've been struggling for a very long time. I'd appreciate your feedback. I'm 31 years old. I've been obese since I was 4 years old. I've joined Weight Watchers more than 10 times, and I just rejoined in October. I have been yo-yoing the last 2 months, and I've only lost a total of 2 pounds. I know that is due to me not working the program. I'm having a hard time buckling down and staying within my points. As pathetic as it sounds, it almost feels painful to think about running out of points and not being able to eat food, as if we don't have 200 plus 0-point foods to choose from. I think I'm consumed by the fear of failure, and I'm sabotaging myself. Aside from the multiple attempts at Weight Watchers, I have recently experienced a failure that is very embarrassing to me. Last year, I sat down with my doctor, who was very familiar with my weight loss struggles, and decided that weight loss surgery would be a good option for me. I did go through with the surgery, and I lost about 40 pounds over a 1-year span. But my surgeon was very shocked that I wasn't dropping 80 to 100 pounds like a majority of her patients. I know it's best to lose weight at a slower pace, but I couldn't shake the feelings of wondering why I am so different than everyone else, even with weight loss surgery. This summer, the weight started to creep back on, and I'm officially up 20 pounds. I rejoined Weight Watchers because I've lost weight before, and it's a very realistic program. I have a true passion for healthy foods. Why can't I shake the food obsession? I have a great support system. Why can't I shake the food obsession? I'm a successful businesswoman. Why can't I shake the food obsession? I think you know where I'm going here. My life is truly amazing, and I'm happy in every other area of my life. So why can't I just eat when I'm hungry and stay within my points? It really sounds so easy. I am left feeling so discouraged week after week. I would appreciate any tips or suggestions that you might have, Katie. Katie, thank you for writing in, and I would venture to say that this email is more common than any of us would even guess. And so many folks, with so many people on the planet who battle with weight. And of course, my story is for 10 years, I was living along these lines of just, not really understanding what was going on. And so you have to take your food obsession and you have to find another way to fill that void. Now, certainly, I'm not an expert in this area. So, in your case specifically, I would say, man, I really want you to plug into your doc. I really want you to sit down and have a real heart-to-heart conversation in this realm. But some of the things I would offer as you do that, as you're waiting for that appointment, is that we have to find what the triggers are. I know for me is there are certain things that just automatically went together. Back in the day, I could not have a pizza without having a Coke. And certain brands of pizza went with certain brands of soda. And so I had that was clearly an addiction. I couldn't have Papa John's pizza without having a Coca-Cola to go with it. But if I was going to have, a Pizza Hut pizza, I really did want the Pepsi. It was weird how by the taste buds, I would align them together, and that absolutely was an obsession, and it was an addiction that I had to come to terms with, and I had to break. I love the part in your email where you say you're a successful businesswoman. You have a great support network. Every other thing in your life is amazing. That tells me that you can do this. You really can. The things that you have going right in your life are very much more difficult than to try and take control over this. And what I mean by that is, no, this is not easy. By any stretch of the imagination, this is not easy, but what's happening is you have been successful in every other area of your life because you made that a priority. You made that the focus, and you put all of your energy into being a success in those areas of your life. When it comes to this addiction, which I believe is so very real, so very true, it's why, for me, the answer of Mike, eat less and work out more didn't work. I knew the secret formula to how to lose weight. But when I finally understood, when I finally admitted that I had a food addiction, no different than an alcohol addiction, no different than a drug addiction, I had a food addiction, and depending on which experts you talk to, some will agree and some will disagree, but I knew in my life, in my journey, that was my number one issue. I could be eating things mindlessly, not even remember even eating them, because I just knew that it was there, I had to have it. And so it's interesting how, as this addiction comes to life, I had to understand that it was an addiction. So therefore, in my brain, I had to treat it the same way I guess I would have treated any other addiction. And that's by owning it. That's by putting a name on it, putting a label to it. And I had to understand that every time I had that, I was fueling the addiction. And things that I became overly addicted to, I made the conscious choice to get away from. I couldn't do them in moderation. Soda for me, I knew that cutting back on my soda would not work. I had to completely go cold turkey on soda. That worked very well for me. It's been 3 years now. I haven't had a single drop of soda in 3 years. Yeah, it was tough. It was absolutely miserable for the first month. I'm not going to kid you. The first day was, I had a headache from here to Puyallup, It was crazy how bad the headache was. But I persevered because I knew the bigger goal. I had to make sure that I could fight the addiction, and if I treated it as such, I could get it done. So I want you to check in with your doc, obviously continue there, talk about the addiction, give it a name, give it a label. And you said in your email, which I thought was very, very upfront, very honest, very opening, is that you said, I know that it's due to you not working the program. But let's talk about that, because it's not entirely you, right? There are so many things, this addiction that you're battling, just because you can't beat it isn't a fault on yours. Not at all. So having a hard time buckling down is absolutely normal. Staying within your points, I get it. It's difficult to do that. It's not pathetic at all. It's not painful, the thoughts that you're having. They're very real thoughts. And you can completely change your mindset. You can change the way you're reacting to it. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some intense focus. And so what I would encourage you to do is I would encourage you to sit down again and write out your why. What does success look like? Do you believe you can do this? What's in your way? Who is responsible for your success? When you write the answer to those questions down and you finally understand that you are responsible for your success. And you know that you have to, in order to have success, you have to get control of this addiction. That's when you put two and two together and you slowly, gradually start making the right choices. You start balancing all of your choices against your why, and you can get it done. You're absolutely not a failure. Not even close. The fact that you took the courage to write in and share this, that tells me more about your success than any failure I would ever come to think of. You're an amazing, accomplished person. You can do anything you set your mind to. Let's shift some focus into this arena. Let's start every single day off with what is the goal for today? What is it that I want to accomplish today? And let's end every night with what did I do? How did I do? And should I try and be better tomorrow? Kati, if you check in with that, you can end what we call the struggle. Throwing the word struggle away will help immensely. You're fighting a battle that is very, very real, but it's absolutely winnable. Kati, thanks for writing in. It's truly an honor to walk this journey with you. I know you can do it. I can't wait to hear the update. Health IQ uses science and data to secure lower rates on life insurance for health-conscious people like runners, cyclists, strength trainers, vegans, and more. Health IQ is the fastest-growing life insurance company with over $5 billion in coverage. Like saving money on your car insurance for being a good driver, Health IQ saves you money on your life insurance for living a health-conscious lifestyle. 56% of Health IQ customers save between 4 and 33% on their life insurance. Health IQ reduces your chance of being penalized for adverse family health history if you're otherwise healthy. Most carriers will penalize people if their heart rate is too low. Health IQ actually helps them recognize that this is a sign of your excellent health and fitness. Health IQ has convinced carriers to provide special rates to those who have chosen a plant-based diet. A low-carb diet reduces your cardiovascular risk despite increasing your total cholesterol. Health IQ carriers are a little more lenient. I checked it out myself. The quote came in at a lower rate than my current policy. I've gone through the process of getting screened. I have my blood drawn. I talked to Ryan at Health IQ, and he was able to answer all of my questions. To see if you qualify, get your free quote today at healthiq.com/dag. Life insurance companies calculate your policy rates based on your nearest age, not your actual age, and rates increase as you get older. Lock in the best rates possible by getting a free quote today. Visit healthiq.com/dag. Next up, out of Boynton Beach, Florida, Jill writes in. She says, "Hi, Mike. First of all, I want to thank you for the hard work you do as a member of the Air Force, a Weight Watchers leader, husband, father, and for doing this podcast. I've been wanting to write in for months now, but I'm finally ready to put into words my Weight Watchers journey. My decision to join Weight Watchers was not a long thought-out decision. I signed up on a whim, and I got comfortable using the app, scanning the food items, and I started the program a week later. I'm not bragging when I say this, but I'm a natural Weight Watcher. I love cooking, looking up foods. I love planning my meals, tracking, measuring my portions, etc. I have found ways to make all my favorite foods lower in points, so I never once have felt deprived. All of my life, I have struggled with my weight, and discovering something that gave me control, it was the best feeling in the world. I even got my husband and lots of other family members to join, and having his support has been so crucial to my success. The poor guy, he has to eat my lean hamburgers and egg whites, well, that was before freestyle, without too many complaints. I attend meetings, and it was at my second meeting that someone mentioned your podcast. The next day, I saw one of your posts on the trending page on Connect. I put two and two together. That day, I downloaded the app, and I listened to too many episodes. I was hooked. Fast forward 6 months to today, and I'm still an avid listener, and I suggest your podcast to anyone I meet who mentions wanting to lose weight. When people look at me, they may think I joined Weight Watchers to lose some baby weight, but what they don't realize is I have struggled with weight since elementary school. When I was 13, I went to a nutrition class once a week with my mom that my doctor suggested so I could lose some weight. I was a member of Curves, a women-only gym, when I was in the 8th grade. I am so lucky to have my mom who brought me to those things and encouraged me. My parents never once said a negative thing about my appearance, but unfortunately my mom didn't treat herself with the compassion and love that she showed me. She tried so hard to help me be healthy, yet we used food as a source of entertainment and rewards in our family, which continued for me into adulthood. Thanks to Weight Watchers, going out to eat and stopping for snacks is no longer an activity for me unless I'm truly hungry. Which brings me to something I have struggled with since joining. I want to share this in case it's affecting anyone else. When I first started the program, and even now sometimes, I have more anxiety. At first, I was pretty upset by this. I was working out, losing weight, looking great. Yet inside, I was feeling pretty crappy sometimes. I then realized I had given up my anti-anxiety medication, food. It was if having a rough day before I would stop and I would get myself some sugary coffee drink from Starbucks or some chocolate-covered almonds. Hey, they were almonds. I was being healthy, right? But now that I have a guidance on how many points I can have a day, I was not willing to spend on my precious weeklies on them or for a drink or a snack that would be gone so quickly. Now, I'm actually forced to feel my feelings and not suppress them with food. I'm at a healthy BMI now, but struggling to pick a goal weight. I keep repeating your words in my head that goal is a feeling. And at my next meeting, I will be at goal. I'm down 50 pounds. I can walk into a store, pick up a size 6 pants and medium top, and know they will fit, or maybe be a little too big. I'm completely comfortable in my own skin. When I see pictures of myself now, there is nothing left to criticize. I love the way I look. 2018 is going to be my year to love how I feel. Thank you again so much for all that you do. Jill at Boynton Beach, Florida. Jill, congratulations. Welcome to Goal. You've explained exactly what goal is. You're down 50 pounds. You get to just choose now that you're a goal. You walk in a store, you pick up a size 6, you pick up a medium pants, you know it fits, completely comfortable in your own skin. When you see a picture, you don't criticize yourself. You love the way you look. It doesn't matter what the scale says. Congratulations. You have come a long way to get here. What an amazing journey. And what the coolest thing is as you sit here, there wasn't a stress trying to figure out what that number on the scale. You weren't trying to satisfy a scale. You were simply trying to satisfy a feeling. Wow, way to go. Now you've worked this very successfully and you brought other people along your journey. As you make the journey look fun, as you make it look easy, you are the perfect example of the hashtag we use, be the prize, right? Other people wanted to see that success. They wanted to do it because you made it look fun. Scanning, looking up, tracking all your meals, measuring your portions. All of that is a great how as you work the program. Stay tuned into the podcast because you absolutely are going to now need this level of support. You're going to need the group to carry you through the next journey. Now, so when you talked about a couple of things I want to point out in your email is that, when people look at you, they may think that you joined to lose some baby weight. But what they don't realize is you struggled with weight since elementary school. There is absolutely no way today where you can look at someone and make judgment on their journey. I've seen people that they're absolutely down hundreds of pounds that are just doing fantastic work. But if we allowed society to judge them, they wouldn't understand the amazing work these people have gone through. So we got to put that completely aside. Nothing matters like that. It is people in their own lanes, doing their own thing, getting it done. They deserve to be able to be celebrated every step of the way. So it doesn't matter what people do or don't realize with your journey. You know the truth. You know that in order for you to maintain this, in order for you to keep with it, is that every day you have to stay focused. And it's something that you have struggled with since elementary school. But that all ends today. You're going into your next meeting. You're going to declare a goal. You're going to work through the maintenance phase, and then you will join Team Lifetime. We will address in the future how your family uses food as a source of entertainment and rewards. It sounds a lot like you've already figured out a way to combat that. Now, as we talk about the anxiety that's now creeping up, is some of the things you have to realize is your life is completely different. You have a void in your life that the anxiety that you used to have from not having clothes that fit and being overweight is just now resurfaced in a different way. You feel good about yourself. You're absolutely getting it done. And so rather than reaching for, your anti-anxiety medication, which you called, TV, we need to find something, just like we talked about earlier, we need to find something to put it in its place. A good book, a TV show, if that's what you want, a step goal, a gym activity, wall squat, something that you can replace with that food, and you can get that same level of comfort from a different different action. Keep up the amazing work. Keep up the balance that you have. You're doing amazing work. You're down 50 pounds. You're wearing a size 6. You can walk in. We can buy you clothes for Christmas and not have to keep the receipt. How amazing is that? Congratulations on getting to goal. Congratulations on 2018 being the year that you're going to love how you feel. I promise you, as you settle into your new life, as you settle into your new body, you will come to terms with it because you are not ever going to give it back. You know what success feels like. You know the hard work it gets here. You know the lifelong struggle, and you've beaten it. Now we just continue to manage it, and we live happily for the rest of our life. Congratulations. Jenice writes in and says, Dear Fat Dag, first of all, thank you for your service to our country. I appreciate what you're doing to educate our servicemen in the topic of obesity, as well as your podcast and other platforms to inspire and support those who fight the weight loss battle. Like many, I had joined and rejoined Weight Watchers several times. I walked into a meeting May 2010 to join in order to break the cycle of losing and gaining back the pounds plus more. At that time, I was finishing my 32nd year of teaching in the local elementary school. My why was to improve mobility, my blood pressure, and my self-concept. A year from my joining date, I reached lifetime. I felt so good about myself. I felt worthy for once in my life. I was able to gradually get off my blood pressure medicine. I have a photo of me with joy on my face while both legs standing in one leg of my 2010 shorts. During that year, I inspired several staff members to rejoin Weight Watchers. The thought process was probably, well, if it works for you, it can work for me. The school staff and students were my wingmen. For the following year, I was able to maintain my weight. I retired at the end of the 2011-12 school year with 33 years of experience in teaching. I was suddenly without my wingman and access to my usual classroom activity steps. I wasn't prepared to carry on with the program without my wingman supporting and cheering me on daily. Life continued. My living parent became ill and eventually passed. I was suddenly left without my parent and my brother, and all due to illnesses and death. How do you carry on now, being what felt like an orphan? I was fortunate to have a loving partner who supported me and continues to. I need to give her a shout out for making it possible to only gain 0.2 pounds from mid-April to mid-May. My situation is complicated with a timeline from mid-March until December. In a nutshell, the timeline includes a total knee replacement. A month later, the same leg, my kneecap fractured. A month in, a hip-to-toe cast. 8 weeks in hinge brace, physical therapy until the end of September. At the end of September, I realized a stress fracture in my good foot. I dealt with a walking boot at the end of November and a bone growth stimulator until the end of December. Still, it seems much better than having a broken kneecap. Even though I've not been at goal weight for years, I've continued attending Weight Watcher meetings. My partner and I have been Weight Watcher members nonstop. We attend meetings when we travel to other locations. I know that I must never stop. I need the support of others. That realization helped me keep my gain under 20 pounds, and I'm proud of that. I now go back on track and will be at my lifetime weight again. Since discovering your website and your podcast, I realized that over the years, I sort of worked the how of the program, but not really my why. I lost the excitement of losing weight and the real focus after I didn't have my wingmen at school. I am thrilled to have so many new wingmen in my corner. I acknowledge that I slipped up with the focus and I'm working the program, but I'm moving on. I'm now at the point physically to get back to the gym. I have gradually dealt with the cardio and have been brave enough for the first time to try weight machines to improve and maintain muscle strength. I find myself anxious to go to the gym and enjoy the uplifted spirit I discovered. I'm sorry for such a long email. Thank you again for providing support and the opportunity to be part of such an inspiring group. Your wingman, Jenice. Man, if this isn't a roller coaster of an email, I don't know what is. First off, your family situation, man, my heart breaks for you. Losing your parent and your brother, suddenly leaving you at that place where you feel like an orphan, it's something that unfortunately I don't ever want to experience, and my heart breaks for you as that happened. So during that phase of your life, you did exactly what you needed to do, and that is you need to protect you in whatever way possible and get yourself focused and just take care of that and deal with that scenario as it's happening. You did amazing work during that. You reached lifetime with the support of your school and the staff. You inspired several staff members to rejoin Weight Watchers. How cool is that? 33 years as a school teacher. How many lives have you impacted in that? You are an amazing contributor to society. Thank you for that. And so now as we work your weight loss journey, as you've proven to yourself you can do whatever you want to do, you've proven to yourself you can completely change your life, you've proven you can change anyone's life who comes in contact with you. And so for a little bit of time, you allowed that focus to take care of others and take care of the situations that were dealt with you, and that's perfectly okay. You've been lifetime before. You're still lifetime. That never goes away. You're just now, slightly up from your goal weight. You've proven you can do it. We now have you back plugged into the Wise Wingman Facebook group. The group together is giving you that little bit of motivation, that giving you that support that you had as you were working at the school. And I think that's one of the things we now know about this journey is that we are going to have to find some sort of accountability for the rest of our lives. It's part of the reason I do the podcast. It's part of the reason I wanted to form a foundation, because I know that I'm going to need something for the rest of my life that reminds me that I can do this. Of course, I want to keep other people engaged too. I want to keep other people mindful of that. But priority is I have to understand that my journey for the rest of my life will need that little bit of accountability. You now, as you reach into this group, as you find the support, understand that this support is here for you. This support is working with you. We will get you back to your goal weight. And then when you do, you now have to then find people that you've inspired, and you need to reach back to them, and you need to continue helping them, because that reminds you on this journey what it is you're fighting for. Every email I get, every text I get, every Facebook message I get, every tag that I get, I tell you, it's a lot overwhelming, but it's incredibly, incredibly heartwarming. Because what I see is I see that every single one of us have so many similar thoughts. So it just makes it so that I understand that I'm not alone in this journey. you're not alone in this journey, that we all are at various places along the line, but the journey for the most part is the same. We're going to have things in life that trip us up. We're going to have to deal with them. During that period of time, we may have to shift our focus because it takes that much of a priority in our lives. But we always come back because we have the support. And if you're reaching for that support, when you get to the point where you feel like, you absolutely are where you want to be, that's when you reach back and you give the support. That giving of the support will continue to reframe your mind, continue to keep you in there. As you hear other people's stories, it'll remind you of yours. It'll remind you of where you were at one point. It'll remind you you don't ever want to go back. And you can use that experience to tell them what it's like when they make it to the other side. Jenice, thank you so much for your email. I'm so honored that you wrote in. And again, I will re-emphasize that school teachers rock. 33 years as a school teacher, that is absolutely incredible, as you know, or may not. But in our family, my wife is a school teacher, and so I know what school teachers go through. I know the hard work, and I have a lot of respect for school teachers. So thank you so much for writing in. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Thanks for continuing to spread the message, and congratulations on Team Lifetime. That's a goal that you accomplished. You set out to do. You did it. Now let's get you back to goal, and we'll celebrate. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com. Click on WhysAdvice Podcast. Send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions, and I'll work them in as part of the show. Just like you heard tonight, I want you to email in because so many folks tell me, I'm waiting for the right moment to write in. This journey is not full of right moments. You need to write in now so that other people can hear that part of the journey relates to them as well. And of course, I want you to be proud of all the hard work you're doing. And I see so many emails as well where people write in and says, man, that felt good just to write it. I want you to write it down. I want you to send it in. Let's share it on the air. But that is going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the WhysAdvice podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit FatDag.com, click on Become a Patron today.